Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IS English. In our today's video, we are going to discuss a very important topic that is related to a removal of judge of either High Court or Supreme Court. Now, why are we discussing it in our today's video? Because some sort of a political controversy has happened in the state of Tamil Nadu. Now, from exams per se, this kind of a political controversy is not important. So, we are going to give it just a cursory glance. What we are going to discuss is the process, how constitution or a act passed by Indian Parliament ensures a specific procedure through which or ensuring which you can remove a judge of Supreme Court or High Court. Now, this topic is also very important from your UPSC exam perspective. Just take a look at the question which appeared in 2019. This question would give you an indication that a process of removal of a judge is very important from your exam. Straight away, two statements from this question were relating to our today's discussion. So to solve this question, to understand this process effectively, you need to watch this video up till the very end. And the notes that I will be using in our today's session, I will make sure to upload it in a Telegram channel called as ATS Live. So you can go to this channel, download the notes, and while you're at it, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel also. So let us start by understanding the context. Why are we discussing this development? Now, few opposition MPs, 107 in particular, they have emphasized on conduct of a Madras High Court Justice G.R. Swaminathan, and according to the opposition MPs, his conduct has raised serious questions regarding impartiality, transparency and secular functioning of India's judiciary. So they have filed a motion to the Lok Sabha Speaker in order to remove him from the office of a judge of High Court. Now, this has created a lot of controversy in the state of Tamil Nadu. You need to understand that the conduct of this judge was that he ordered lighting of a particular lamp on a hill in Madurai, and this site is contested between a nearby temple and a nearby dargah. So what happened that this matter created controversy in Tamil Nadu, and it put the current government in Tamil Nadu, which is led by DMK party, in a political tussle. So according to this political party, DMK, these are the efforts, or the judgment of this particular judge was an effort to manufacture a communal flashpoint in the state, which is expected to witness election in few months from now. Now, what the opposition parties have alleged that they have given three grounds to seek removal of this particular judge. They have stated that the Justice G.R. Swaminathan's conduct raises secret or serious questions on the impartiality, transparency and secular functioning of judiciary. So much so that Justice Swaminathan has shown favoritism towards certain advocates who hail from a particular community, and that while deciding on cases, he does so on basis of his particular political ideology, which actually betrays the secular fabric that our judiciary should handle. I am not saying this. This is the opposition MPs who have laid down this as a ground of his removal. Now, as I told you, this is a matter of political controversy, so not so important from your exams perspective. What is important is what I am going to discuss now. The removal process is important from your exam. Now, this removal of a particular judge is ensured by various constitutional provisions. For removal of a judge of Supreme Court, Article 124 subsection 4 deals with it. And as far as the removal of High Court Justice is concerned, that is dealt with Article 218 of the Constitution. Now, Constitution of India gives you the ground for removal of a particular judge, and in this regard, the Constitution says that there are only two grounds based on which you can remove a judge. That is the ground for proved misbehavior as well as incapacity. What you should realize that Constitution of India does not define what the meaning of this word is, and it is left at the helm of affairs, that is to be done by the Parliament of India. Now, this judge or any judge to be removed from office, this motion, when it will be introduced in the Parliament, this needs to get passed by the Parliament through what is called as a special majority. Now, you must be thinking, what is a special majority? This is very important from an exam's perspective. Now, the special majority of Parliament is when it ensures two specific conditions, and this two conditions should be fulfilled simultaneously. First condition is that this motion should be passed by at least 2/3 of members who are present and voting at that particular time in the floor of the house. Not just this voting needs to be passed by majority of total membership of the house. Now, suppose if any given day, there are 200 MPs who are present in the Lok Sabha. Now, even if these 200 MPs pass this motion by 2/3 of majority, that is at least by 134 votes, still the judge won't be removed, because the first condition, that is the majority of total membership, is not fulfilled. You need to understand there are total 543 members in Lok Sabha. So for majority of total membership, you need at least 272 votes, right? But when there are 134 votes, which fulfills the first condition, but it does not fulfill the second condition, so this won't be fulfilled. So to move any or remove any judge from the office, you need special majority, which needs both of these conditions to be fulfilled on a simultaneous basis, not on individual basis. Now, before this voting were to happen, there are few steps and procedures that the parliament needs to follow. You need to understand this as well. And this procedure is not laid down in the constitution. This is laid down by an act, Judges Inquiry Act 1968, which was passed by Indian Parliament. It states that whenever you have to remove a judge from office, you need to first introduce a motion of impeachment in the floor of the house. So if you're introducing this motion on the floor of Lok Sabha, you need the sign or approval of at least 100 members of Lok Sabha. And similarly, when you're introducing this motion first in the floor of Raj Sabha, in that case, you need permission of at least 50 members of the house. And then this motion is presented to the presiding officer of the house. The presiding officer of Lok Sabha is the Lok Sabha speaker, and the presiding officer of Raj Sabha is the chairman of Lok Sabha, Raj Sabha, who is also the ex officio vice president of India, right? And it is the decision of presiding officer whether to approve or to reject this motion of the house. If the presiding officer rejects this motion, then this matter stops at right there. But if the presiding officer approves the introduction of this motion, then the next part that the presiding officer does is that he or she constitutes a 3-member committee of inquiry. Now, this 3-member committee of inquiry, which is constituted by the presiding officer of the house, it consists of either Chief Justice of India or a judge of Supreme Court, Chief Justice of any High Court in India, and a distinguished jurist. So these 3 people are what is called as Committee of Inquiry. And the purpose of constituting this Committee of Inquiry is that they will constitute or do inquiry on the allegations that have been levied on the particular judge. They will first of all investigate the charges. They'll ask or hear matters from different parties. They might even order a medical test, and they will also frame charges on the judges under which the intention of whose removal is being filed in the house. Now, after this committee of inquiry is done with their inquiry, they conclude their investigation and they submit this report to the presiding officer of the house. And it is the role and responsibility of the presiding officer of the house to place this report in the floor of the house. Now, there are 2 possibilities of what will happen after this report is filed in the floor of the house. If the report says that the judge on whose allegations have been made is not guilty of any wrongdoing, then this matter would end right there. But if, on the other hand, this committee feels that the judge is guilty of the offences or of the allegation that has been levied on him or her, then this report is adopted on the floor of the house and the address for removal begins on the house. Now, after this, the voting process, which is done through special majority, happens, right? So this is how the process is completed. Now, up till now, in the history of independent India, some total of 7 attempts have been made to remove a judge, either of High Court or Supreme Court, from office. Although there were 2 instances where the committee of inquiry found them guilty of wrongdoing, but you need to understand, up till now, no judge has been removed from office. And the most recent attempt to remove a judge of High Court happened few months before. That was concerning the Justice Yashwant Verma of Allahabad High Court. Right? So therefore, this matter becomes very important because in a span of few months, there has been 2 continuous development regarding removal of a particular judge from office. Understood? Now, before we take up the PYQ and I give you a practice question, there are some important things that you need to understand. The topic that I just covered right now is an integral part of your polity syllabus. In addition to polity, there are many other important subjects like economy, history, geography. Now, have you ever thought of how you will cover each and every aspects of these syllabus? Because current affairs only gives us few amount of topics that might be important, but what about other important topics, right? So one of the easiest way to cover these syllabus and these subjects individually is to take admission in Resolution Plus batches. Now, the benefit of these batches are that you are going to get live classes, and if you miss live classes, you have access to recorded lectures, you get one-to-one mentorship, which helps you address your doubts which might crop up during your preparation phase. You have both prelims and mains mock test series using which you can hone your and practice your learning, right? So all of this are integral part of our Resolution Plus batches. Now these batches are offered individually for students who are looking to give exams in 2027 and 28, and right now the batches of December have already started. So if you take admissions after a few days, you will be at loss. So take admissions as soon as possible, and keep one thing in mind: if you apply the code ATS Live on all the courses that are offered on our website, you will get discounts of as much as 7,000 rupees, which is a lot of money, by the way, right? Now let us solve the practice question that I showed you before, which was a PYQ of 2019. The motion to impeach a judge of Supreme Court of India cannot be rejected by the Speaker of Lok Sabha as per the Judges Inquiry Act 1968. This is incorrect, right? I told you it is the prerogative of presiding officer whether to accept or reject this motion, even though it has been fulfilled the necessary number of votes and signing, right? The second statement, the Constitution of India defines and gives detail of what constitutes incapacity and proven misbehavior of judges of Supreme Court in India. Although the Constitution of India gives you the ground of removal, but it does not define what is the ground of removal. It just says proved misbehavior and incapacity, right? That's it only. So second statement also is right. The details of process of impeachment of judges of Supreme Court in India are given by Judges Inquiry Act 1968. Correct. The last, if the motion of impeachment of judge is taken up for voting, the law requires that the motion is to be backed by each house of the parliament and supported by majority of total membership of that house and not less than 2/3 of total members present and voting. This is what is called as special majority of the house. And I told you both of these conditions needs to be fulfilled simultaneously. Only if one condition is fulfilled and the other is not, then it won't constitute the passing of the motion. Right? So from this discussion, third and fourth is correct, second and first is incorrect. So option C becomes your right answer, right? So this is how you approach a question of UPSC. And all of this statement we have solved just because we have understood this topic effectively in our today's discussion. Now, one more practice question that I've given you, but this question you'd solve on your own. Please do let me know the correct answer. What you need to keep in mind, the option that I'm asking you to highlight, which of the three statements are incorrect, right? So in this way, UPSC sometimes tries to play with you, and during exam pressure, you might overlook this kind of an aspect. So please keep that in mind. You have to answer which of the three statements are incorrect. Okay, please do let me know the correct answer in the comment section. And what do you feel about this issue? Does this constitute the grounds of proven misbehavior and incapacity? What do you feel about it? Please do let me know in the comments. And the ones who answer this question correctly, you'll get a thumbs up from my side. And if you want to download the notes, this is where it will be available on the Telegram channel ATS Live. So with this, I take your permission. Please have a very good night. We'll see each other at same time, same place tomorrow as well. So please have a very good day.